I was very sad. I get home, I tell my mom. She just laughed at me, say, "What were you doing there?" And my mom remembers she's the school principal at the time. She's the school principal. She said, "No, this thing is all lies. Why don't bother about it?" Because my mom was also not interested in this magic and stuff. They just come, they do the show, that's it. Okay, fine. Now, incident number two, similar with the pig's man. I need to mention this because this is what happened.
But I have a question that only you are the one who was eating the pig?
No, I did not. Pigs, growing up, we eat them only during winter, winter season, not summer. No, we slaughter them and eat them during winter season. The main reason I don't know, but one of the reasons my father used to say was that pork meat, when you eat it during winter, it keeps you warm. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. I never really been looked into it.
Mhm.
Plus, also during winter season, because growing up in the village, we did not really have like today's top-notch refrigeration systems. Because pork meat, you must make sure it's well frozen and all this. So during winter, it used to get very cold. So now at least that assisted, in terms of storage. I think that was one of the reasons. So at the time, it's just summertime, whatever. And a lot of the people, because as I said, due to religious, some churches they don't eat pig, some they do. And so for us, we had the pig, so we eat pork. You know. So, but these are things that I got to understand later, because even in African traditions, you know, be it magic, be it African tradition where they call this, I don't know what they call them, African healers or witch doctors. They don't want to see pig, anything to do with pig, because then they cannot perform their things.
Mhm.
So now, and okay, I'll come to that. I found it very very interesting, even growing up, that why is it then with the pig, these people cannot perform all these things, but I cannot eat it. But I'll come to that. Now, another incident happened. This was massive. This one, guys, make sure you drink water. What I'm going to tell you, make sure you drink water. Even the viewers, drink water now. Go get a glass of water before you listen. This is big.
Mhm.
This one is massive. And this thing happened to me. This is what happened. We had, as I said, we had the kettle. Now it was a Sunday. Myself, my dad, my mom, my younger brother. I think my two sisters, no, they were not with us because at the time they were already in boarding school. They were like 2, 3 years ahead of me. They were already boarding school. Now I'm sitting with my father, front seat. My mom is sitting at the back with my younger brother, driving a Colt Gallant. We had the Colt Gallant. I think I'll get the picture. I'll put it up here. We're coming from church, yeah,
Mhm.
and it's like month end, because when it used to be like towards month end, church, then even the priest will come that one weekend, month end, because we have like a church function and other things, because we did not have a permanent priest. It used to be like whether my father or some of the elders, they just preach every Sunday. Now, we coming from church, this is what happens. We had the head boy come in the morning, take all the cattle to the field. Okay?
Mhm.
Now, then my father remembers while we're driving back home, because it was quite a distance from our home, we have to go like to the next village, to the church. He remembers that, oh, the head boy, it's month end. He's not going to go collect the cattle from the field. And it was around 1 o'clock because, as I say, month end, it was those long church sessions. We have to even sing and do this and that. Then out of the blue, because we're going like it's almost like a ditch, but there's a stream, or I should say a river crossing, go through a bridge up. There's an open field that side. And then our home is like to the left is only the villagers. On the right it's like open field. Bring your cattle, whatever, for grazing, all this. Just as he goes up the ditch, he says he remembers. I think this is what happened. Just say he stops. He says, "Son, go collect the cattle. You'll you'll meet us at home." I got pissed off, and I'm still young, but I could feel this is unfair. Habibi, I'm wearing a suit. I'm wearing a suit, pants, nice shirt, white shirt with a bow tie. You know that they call it the three-piece. Yeah, with that shiny material at the back. I'm looking good. I'm sitting, seat belt on. They say no, go fetch the kettle. How? I'm wearing so. I said no, let's go home. I will change. My father says no, no, no. You can just take your blazer, whatever bow tie, just walk, collect. You'll find us at home.
And it is 1 in the morning.
No, midday.
Okay.
Because church starts from 8 in the morning. So it ran through until around 12, 1 o'clock. This is midday, broad daylight. So we stop. So halas, I remove the blazer, and like you can see I'm not happy. I leave the bow tie there. They drive. And this is still far away from home, Habib. Then I start walking to the field. Habibi, when we go to church, I did not even have breakfast. My mom is gonna get home, start cooking. Say no, by the time you get home, you'll eat. And me, I love food. I was already thinking when I get home, the first thing I want to, quick peanut butter and jelly and something. You see, colors. One time, then what happens? I'm walking. You see, like that time, I'm like 9, 10, 11. The grass maybe like 1 meter or so tall. There's a couple of trees, but not many trees. It's not like a forest. Then I'm walking. Now I'm walking further in too deep because I don't see the cattle, but I'm thinking, oh, okay, so I need to go back because there's that like a river stream, whatever, going through to the main bridge. Maybe that's where they are drinking water, because most of the animals obviously want to be around next to the river bank. I'm still walking towards the river. Habibi, this thing, I don't know how I should explain it. I still can't, get my head around this. This is what happened. As I'm walking, there's like this one tall tree, not very tall, but like maybe 5, 6, 7 meters high. The stem, only the stem, not the branch. Habibi, I felt the whole earth, like everything around me, the whole earth shift. It was, I don't know. It's like it's like when you are standing on a blanket, maybe, or this tablecloth. If now I am to pull it, and you are standing here, but it's not even flat. This thing was massive. Whatever it was at the time, I'm thinking everything, like even as if the ground is like folding or rolling or what. This thing was big, and it was not only me physically feeling it. Even in my spirit, I feel this. What is happening? This is bigger than even growing up. You start understanding there are volcanoes. It's not that. This thing, I felt everything around me shift, move. I felt it, and then I stand still. And this thing is happening like split second, but it feels like it's taking the whole week. I'm thinking, what the hell is going? And I can even feel, my spirit. I feel like my spirit is getting out of the skin or something. Something, I don't know. Habibi. Because I'm looking down at my feet. Then I felt something cold, whatever, not cold breeze. Like, when you have this bottle of water, it's cold, someone just almost touches you. You can feel it's cold.
Yeah, cold.
That's what I felt.
Yeah.
It's like this sound. Like from around my waistline at the back, and this thing, when it's doing this, I feel like it's moving me or something. I don't know what, like some magnetism, whatever. Habibi, then I looked up. I'll tell you something. You know a king cobra.
Yeah.
And even me, I didn't know a king cobra until, growing up, you see it on the internet that here's a king cobra. What?
Yeah.
Habibi, that thing was for me the size of a king cobra, but maybe not even a king cobra. That was the queen. I think that was the queen cobra. Habibi, that thing was massive, and even here, cobra here.
Yeah.
That thing was bigger than me, my size, because me growing up, I was quite skinny. That thing was much wider than my body.
Yeah. Usually they are really tall and really massive.
That thing, the head was like, same eye level with me. And I feel, I just,
whoa,
this sound. I don't see it making this sound, but I can hear this sound. Like the wind blowing or something. Habibi, this thing, the body was like a ruler, like straight, the head, the eyes, red. This thing was angry. I don't know what's happening. This thing, if they say that is the devil, yeah, no, that was the devil. That thing is full of hate. It's looking like, and the sun is up here, 1 o'clock midday. Yeah. I'm facing this thing.
Yeah. And you just froze, huh?
I froze because even the eyes, I was like, I don't know, like some kind of magnet, or I just looked like this. I didn't run. I didn't do anything. I could not, because my mind, I'm like, this is too much. What? Habibi, I'm still young.
Yeah.
And normally, as a young person at that age, you will say, oh, let me run. But no, that even never came to my mind. I was like, what's this thing? I'm like standing, I'm just frozen like this. What? Like my mind, I can't even think straight. This thing, Habibi, now I'm telling you, this thing is like a meter from me. Just here, I'm here, the head is here. Yeah, this thing is, I can see this whole thing doing this. And this thing is much, I said, oh, today I'm going to be eating. This is what's going through my mind. My dad, I told him I must go and change first at home. He just said I must go. Now this thing is going to eat me and I'm hungry. That was going through my mind. Habibi, guys,
you were still thinking about food at that time, huh?
I'm still thinking about, I'm hungry. This thing is going to eat me. Even if I want to run, this thing is too much strong. This is, I had no chance. Even if I was a lion, you don't have a chance. That thing, when that snake was, I can feel its strength, its energy.
And it's looking at you.
This thing is like straight. No, it's not even doing like, and then you feel.
Yeah.
Then I'll tell you what happened. This is what happened. For some reason, I don't know if it was in my mind or what, but this monster snake, something, it was like, something like this. I could not see the nostrils, moving or what, but this is what just came to mind. It was sniffing, Then all of a sudden, still looking at me, the eyes, oh, scary. Then it went, then it's like, I saw, God, it left. And then I stood there.
She was sniffing the pig smell.
That's what I thought at the time.
Yeah.
Because even the magician and people say I smell pigs.
Yeah.
So now, gentlemen, put a little bit more
Yeah.
here. Can I have
Chapati?
one spoon and chapati.
Okay.
Yeah, my diet plan says I must have 1 spoon and chapati. That's my diet plan. 1 spoon, yeah. 1 chapati. We must show the people what is chapati. You see, people, chapati, I love it. It's talking my language. Yeah, I'll have it. So now, this is what happens. Now it's gone. It's gone.
And you did not move from that location also.
Habibi, I'll tell you. Let me tell you what happened. Okay. Shanana. This is what happens. Now this thing, gone. And when it's going, you know, I feel like this thing actually, it was like underneath, you know, underneath the earth. I was standing on top of the ground, but it was already inside the earth. Because when it's leaving, it's like someone is still pulling a blanket. I'm standing on it. It's like I'm going to fall. This thing disappears. And this thing is fast. Very fast. And then I'm standing there. Then I'm thinking, what the hell is this thing? But for some reason, I'm scared, but I'm not scared. I say, no, I must still go and get the kettle. Because if I go home without the kettle, we used to get a hiding, papi.
You will not get food.
You don't get food. Yeah, we will not get food and you'll get a hiding. They'll say no. So it means we're playing again. So I'm going. I can't find the kettle. So I say, okay, let me go down to the stream. But in my mind, I'm thinking, that big snake is probably coming from this water. Because there's been a lot of rumors. You know, remember when I was saying some kids, you know, disappeared. They said there's a river snake and all of this. I said, no, I'm going. I must get the kettle. Then I go. I start seeing the one because they had this, you know, this clock, bell, whatever I call it. So I go, all of them, round them up, then I take them home. Maybe another 2 hours to back to home because then I must cross. Remember that time I'm young, 9 years or so, and I must cross the main road. People call it the highway. With this kettle, there's like 11 or 10 or 11 of them. And then I must run this side. You know, nowadays people have either use a horse or a camel. Me, you know, that's how we grew up. And I have this one branch, and you know, I have to call them by names. You must know all of them by names.
These are cows.
Yeah, they are.
Cows or
Yeah,
buffaloes?
cows.
Cows.
You give them names because if you don't give them names, you will not be able to manage them. So sometimes you must call, you know, coffee, this side. And sometimes it's like they can hear you, they listen, then yeah, that's how it is. Until I get them home, I get them into the crawl, everything. I close up. We used to have this big block of, you know, they call it crop salt, but it's one solid block. We give it to them. Once they start licking it, even if you open them up, they go to the field, they will always miss home because they want this salt. So that's why you give them that salt. Fine. Then this is what happened. Then after that, my father, because we had quite a very big, massive yard, my father is sitting there with our neighbor, but we're like relatives. They are drinking beer. They are relaxed there underneath the tree. Habibi, now I go there. My father says, hey, you took too long. And they already had meals and everything. Now they're drinking beer. Me, I'm still hungry. They say, hey, why you take so long? You were playing, eh? I used to love playing. So they just know I was playing. And I was not playing. So I said, no, I was hungry. You know, I cannot play. I'm hungry. So my father said, okay, go and eat. Then I say, Papa. You know, because we used to call them Papa, Mama. I say, Papa, when I was going to fetch the kettle, I came across this very huge snake, very big. Here on the neck, it was much wider than even my own body. That thing was going to eat me. He says, oh. And then I said, That thing was like my height. It came eye level like me. It looked at me for a while. It was really angry with me. I could feel it even when it's moving. So I detail everything to
You
him.
still, I mean, feel that intensity now?
No,
when you
no,
are
no.
on-
It's now it's too long. But when I talk about it, I can still sense it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, obviously I won't forget it. That was too much horror. I'm telling my dad, I said, this is what I saw. And my dad is listening. Then they were drinking this beer. I think it was Castle Lager he put. Then my dad just takes that and says, one gulp. Okay, no, we hear you, my son. No, at least you are still alive. Go get some food. Like brushing me off. I said, did you hear what I said? So my father is saying to, we call like uncle, the neighbor. He says, my son, I know, maybe he probably saw a small lizard. Then he's just scared of the lizard. Habibi, I was very angry. Obviously, I can't show him. But internally, this thing, I was angry with my dad for a very long time. Because I went to tell my mom, I said, Mama, this is what I saw. My mom said, oh, really, my son? So, okay, fine. You know what? I'm going to ask someone. You know, in the village or in the villages, you have these elders, elderly people. Some of them, you just ask them something. They have these spiritual things they can just tell you, you know. So my mom, I remember it was midweek. I was not there. She went to ask this one guy. He came from the neighboring country, was there. He told him this story. And the guy said, no, he must bring me. He said, I want to see your son.
Oh.
So it was a Wednesday. I went with my mom. And me, remember, I started driving a car at a very young age. So we took my father's car. My father had the two Colt Gallants, the white one and a brown one. We took the white one. I drove it, but it was still local. We drive to that elder, we go there. Then we get there. Then, we enter like a small hut, a mat building. We're sitting like this. Then the guy just told me, tell me, what did you see? Then I tell him what I saw and what happened. This elder, he says, let me tell you, you are very blessed, you are very strong. That river there, because as I was saying, these rivers, there's some of them, it is believed in African cultures, there's the huge, either a snake or so, whether there's a huge mountain, they will say the owner of this mountain is this whatever snake, and this is in the African culture. So he said, that one that you saw is the one that normally even takes people with them back into the river, to teach them, they're throwing the bones, and I don't know what you guys call this thing. So you saw the king, and it came across you, but the one thing that maybe probably saved you is your pigs, because none of these things want to smell anything to do with pig. He said, even now I can smell the pig in you. I'm not saying you are smelling it, but your spirit, you smell pig. So that probably saved you. And then when he says this, I say, yeah, I went even to this magician show and they chased me out. He says, exactly. Because magicians, they cannot do their magic things. This spirit they are using, a pig,
You don't
they
like,
can't, yeah,
you don't like this.
they don't want the pig.
This is the first time I'm hearing
Mm.
something like this.
Yeah, and that's how it is. Even if you go, when you say African traditions, they'll have like what they call a witch doctor or a sangoma. They don't want anything to do with a pig. And even me, I didn't know this until growing up. Then I start taking care of the pigs, and no one, likes the pigs. They always talk bad about the pig and this thing. So then my mom said, "Oh, so the pig saved you, eh?"
Mm.
I said, and then I said to my mom, "Yeah, that you snake when it just before it left, I felt like it was sniffing.
Mm.
It was going or something." Oh, then it says this guy. Then my mom later on she went to ask somebody else different just to check. They exactly the same thing. They told her the same thing.
Mhm.
So the pig saved me.
These elders were from the same area.
Yeah, they live in the same area.
Uh,
Okay, the other one is somebody a bit far, but I was not there. So she only came to tell me that, hey, I went to ask also another person, and they're saying this exactly the same thing.